Welcome to the Yvonne Candy Show. Motivational, inspirational, and just plain fun. Where celebrities check in and you can check out what's fresh in entertainment, business, health, finance, and more. It's all about your lifestyle. Here's your host, Yvonne Candy.
Okay, I have a Philly girl in the house. Welcome to the show,
Hey.
Dawn.
Hey, thank you for having me.
Oh, thank
Philly
you
in
for
the house.
coming. Thank you for coming. I understand that you're no longer a Philly girl. You're a Californian now.
I sure am. Well, Philly will always be in my heart, as well as New York. And but yeah, I do live in Los Angeles now. I'm probably just a gypsy. I am a gypsy. I'll still say the word John every once in a while.
Yeah, John. That's the John.
That's the John.
That's the John.
I can keep it Philly a little bit.
Yeah. I was on a set here in Philadelphia. I can't remember. Sylvester Stallone. What was that last movie that he did about the boxer?
Creed,
Creed.
right?
Yeah, they did that here in Philly.
Mm-hmm.
So I was on the set, and they were making these jokes about Philadelphians talking about that's the joint, and they said nobody does that but Philadelphia. If you come out to California, they know you're from Philadelphia if you say that's the joint.
Yeah, that's true. John is like the word for anything. Do you see that, John?
Yeah,
That's John. This John said, it can literally be any word. It's a replacement word for anything.
Yes, it is.
Literally.
Now, New Yorkers, don't they say joint? That's the joint?
I guess, do they?
I don't know. Somebody
because
says
you know what?
joint.
There's so many different sections in New York.
Mm-hmm.
Brooklyn, Queens, the Bronx, like everybody. And there's so many different, it's just such a big melting pot that
Right.
all the different ethnicities there, that everybody kind of has their own kind of lingo. Where Philly's a little more contained. It's like a smaller Brooklyn to me is how I would consider Philly. So the lingo is a little different, but I think New York is too many people to actually.
Yeah. Well, if somebody hear this,
yeah.
you can tell me who says joint. That's the joint. We say joint here in Philadelphia, so you can tell me who says that. I don't know, but I would like to know that. But anyway, you went from Philadelphia to New York, and from New York to California. What was that journey about?
Well, I needed life. I like life changes. Besides career changes, they were all career changes also. Like moving from Philadelphia after I graduated from the University of the Arts, I was like, okay, well, I don't know what else as a dancer, what else I would do in Philadelphia. I've danced with the Koresh Dance Company. I studied at Philadelphia since I was a kid. So, I feel like, okay, what's the next step? So going to New York would be the next step. And I danced in a bunch of dance companies. I trained at the Alvin Ailey School. And then I started to do Broadway. I did Lion King in the Heights. And, I toured with Madonna and J-Lo. And so I made a great career as a dancer in New York City. And it's very expensive. So I got to a point where I was like, okay, I know that I'm going to transition to something else. I love life. I love learning. So what's going to be next for me? And I always knew since I was a kid that I was born, like we talked earlier, I was born to be a performer, to change people's lives, to help them see a different perspective in life, to make them walk away from the theater feeling something different, whether they're laughing, whether they're crying, just to kind of escape real life for a minute. And reality. So then, I knew I was always going to act, and I came to Los Angeles just to focus on my acting career because, there's so much film and television here. And while I was here, now I'm, different. I mean, it's different here because I don't know everyone. I have to start over again, which I don't mind. That's a challenge in and of itself. And while I'm waiting for the agent to call and, for the auditions and to book a job, I started to get bored. It's different than the East Coast here. Mm. It's very laid back. It's quiet. So I said, I have to start, making my own projects. I'm not going to wait for someone to call me for an audition. I'm going to make projects and short films and put myself in them. And I love producing. I don't know where that came from, but I love producing. I love putting things together, and I'm pretty good at it.
Yeah, and you have to be multi-talented anyway. I mean,
so you have to be, multitask and multi-talented. So when I got here, I wanted to focus on acting, but I knew since I was a kid that I would make that transition because you can't dance forever. Right. Your body can't hold up, especially doing shows like Lion King and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, then I started producing, and I'm actually coming to Philadelphia next week. Well, first I go to New York for a week because we're in the Manhattan Film Festival, and that's on April 22nd. And then we are at the Philadelphia Independent Film Awards, which is May 5th at Cinco de Mayo, easy to remember. So Friday at 5:30 at the International House. It's on 37th and Chestnut. So please come and support, my short film, 22 Years, which has been all over the country. We just got a distribution deal. And my director, crazy is this, he's from Philadelphia also, Fred Thomas Jr. He graduated with a master's in film and TV from Temple. And it's crazy. We grew up like 5 minutes from each other, but we didn't meet until we were out here.
You were on a world tour with Jennifer Lopez.
And
Madonna. So tell us about that. How was that?
Oh, God, so blessed. When I look back, all the hard work eventually pays off. I will tell you that. All those, days of dancing in dance companies and not getting paid and working your butt off and, the art of it, it does pay off. I mean, I saw the world with dancing with those two, with Madonna and J-Lo, and so blessed and great. Both of them really great to work with. Very professional and, thousands upon thousands of people in the audience. That's a rush in and of itself. So, yeah, I mean, and I remember when I auditioned for Madonna, the first day, oh my God, the line in New York, the line was down the street, 2,000 people. Oh, wow. And I have no patience. I was like, Dawn, just hold on, just stay in line, just stay, come on. And then I got past the first day, then you had a call back the next day. And then the following week, they flew us out to Los Angeles. Maybe there was like 3 of us for the final callback in Los Angeles. And, now you're against all the people in Los Angeles that got kept. I was like, it was like such a long 3-day process, but worth it.
Yeah.
It builds good work ethic.
That's quite an accomplishment.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's quite an accomplishment to beat out all of those people. That's amazing.
You know what? The crazy thing is I never even... the hard thing was waiting in line. It had nothing to do with the people. I never even noticed them. I hate competition, honestly. I hate competing for anything. I just go do my thing, go do my job. This is what I'm born to do. This is me, expressing myself. I never really paid attention to the rest of it. But I got happy when I got kept, but I never grew up in a competitive art world. Like even as a dancer, my dance teachers never, ever, ever put us in competitions or made us think that way. It was art. We were expressing ourselves, So I never had that mentality. I still don't. If I go to an audition as an actor, we both can be great actors, but maybe you look, you're the look they want.
Exactly.
Or,
right.
There's no competition. My part will come at a different time.
Yeah.
Good luck. Good for you. Go kill it.
Yeah.
I'm so supportive of other actors. You have to be.
I was thinking about that, after I made that statement. I said, well, sometimes it's what they're looking for. You just may not be the right fit.
So, half the time, they don't even know what they're looking for. Honestly. They don't. I've gotten to such a place of confidence that if you bring yourself into the room, there's plenty of times I went into auditions and they wanted like this white girl, blonde hair, blue eyes in the audition. They didn't even know that there's an Asian girl. And I'm like, what the hell do they want? Like, I look nothing like these people. What they don't even know what they want. You know what? I'm going to go in. I'm going to bring me in the room. And they ended up changing the character because I brought this character to life.
Right.
They had no idea what they wanted. I brought this. So, you got to bring you. And they either love you or they don't. But if you're true to yourself, you'll be all right.
You sound positive.
Huh?
You sound so positive, so energetic, and so inspirational. I mean, how important is that?
That's my goal.
Yeah, but how important is that to have that type of mindset to get to where you are?
Honey, I've had rejection my whole life. And I've had some good moments where I did beat out thousands of women or dancers. But, oh my goodness, if I let that stuff get to me, I go in an audition, I do my best, and I let it go. Because oh my goodness, people would be, God forbid, committing suicide if they really thought that. Like, who knows what people want on TV? You can't, you got to stay positive. I have to. I've been doing this too long. And I always say, if you want to be famous, go be on a reality show. If you want to be rich, go be a doctor, a lawyer. But if you're a real artist, you can act anywhere. You can act in your backyard. You can go to the middle of the country and do a Shakespeare play. An artist is an artist, and it's your need to express. It's not about being famous or making money. So if you keep faith and, know that your time when you can actually make a living doing what you love, then you're good. You're in a good place.
I love your mindset, because so many people out there that get rejected and they feel as though, oh, well, maybe the business isn't for me. Maybe I'm not good enough. But I've heard stories.
They didn't want it enough then. They
Exactly.
didn't want it enough.
Exactly. I've heard stories where stars today have been rejected and turned down and said they were not pretty enough. They weren't talented enough.
Oh,
and look at them today. They're mega stars. Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, they're laughing all the way to the
I
bank.
don't listen to any of that. None of that.
Great.
None of that.
Great.
Well,
Well,
you have to have a strong foundation in who you are.
that's right.
And spiritually, I do, and I always have. And honestly, I think people from the East Coast definitely have a stronger foundation than people here in Los Angeles, or people that move here from the middle of the country, and people that move here at a very young age, without having to, in New York and Philly, it's expensive, especially in New York. You got to sacrifice to pay your rent. You
Right.
are hustling.
That's right.
I don't know if I can go back to New York unless I was like series regular on a TV show.
Oh, yeah. You have to be making money or want it bad enough to survive this business, period. They say you have to walk it, talk it, breathe it, and eat it. And that's what it takes. And if you can't do that, well, then you're not going to make it. But it's a lot of people fall to the side because they can't do that. They can't make the sacrifice, first of all. Because sometimes you got to work, and then you have to go to an audition, and, and then sometimes you can't work. I just got finished doing a show with a person that quit their job. And now they're doing all of these TV shows. I can't even keep up with them. I can't even remember half the stuff that he's doing in the past few months. It's like he's doing 5 years of work in the past few months, which I hope he doesn't burn out. But this is the point. He actually quit his job and said that he was going to go for it. He just went out there,
And you know what? It's probably that sort of mind frame when you walk in the audition and they don't smell desperation.
Right.
People can smell desperation. When you walk in that room and you're confident, you're like, look, this is who I am, and you're comfortable in who you are. And then, success and making it is relative. And that statement and that word, success means a lot. It means different things to different people.
Right.
You know what I mean? I can walk away from dance and say, I felt successful. I did as much as I could. I can walk away every day. I can go to sleep and say, hey, I feel successful. I felt like I did my best today in anything that I do. People get caught up in what success is. They get caught up in what society says that word means. What does it mean? Everybody should think about what that word means for them. Seriously.
By society standards, success is measured by how much money you have, how famous you are, how much you own, and what have you. But according to the individual, you may not want to be as what society says successful as this person or the other person. Success to you, just like you said, success to you may mean, okay, I did 5 movies, I did 5 shows, and I'm successful. I've made $1 million and I'm successful. When to someone else, they have to make 100, 200, 300 million in order to call themselves successful.
Right.
I can understand.
It's different for everybody.
Yeah, it's different for everybody. Some people are construction workers and some people are waiters and waitresses. So everybody has their own
As long as you can go to
mission.
bed and be happy.
Yeah.
You can have all the money in the world and not be happy.
Right.
I see that a lot.
Tell us about some of your other accomplishments, like your movies and television shows that you've done.
Sure. So some of the television stuff, I've done NCIS a couple times. I'm in a web series called Sister Did What, which is a fun comedy that you can find on YouTube. But Sister is spelled Sistah. So Sister did what? That's our little joke. I do stunts sometimes. I've been on Fear the Walking Dead a bunch of times, which is cool when they call me because it films in Mexico. So I get to go down to Mexico for a couple of days, which is always nice. And then, I've done a lot of independent films, some short films that are coming out. I did a pilot recently called Undercover, and it's got Kenyon Glover and Tom Sizemore, Weston Cage, who's Nicolas Cage's son. I got a bunch of things in the works that are coming out. My short films I'm producing. I got 2 feature films that I'm in the process of pitching and producing, we're in the process of finding distribution companies and financing and, production companies. So we're doing that. And actually one of them, we most likely will be coming back to Philly to actually film. I can't really talk about it too much, but it's a biopic. I'll give you that as a hint. It's a biopic. And then there's another feature film that I'm one of the producers, but I'm one of the lead actors. It's called Project Abaddon, and it's a sci-fi. We're in the process of, signing deals and, getting the money to do that. That would be a feature film, sci-fi, and it's really cool. It will probably be filming that in the fall, which we're hoping. So yeah, there's a bunch of, I'm hustling, man. I am hustling out here.
You sure are hustling.
Getting stuff done.
Anytime you can shoot a movie in 5 days, that's what I call hustling.
Well, my short film, 22 Years, that's a short film. That's going to be at the festival in Philly on May 5th. That's a short film. But it's great. It's my story. I'm very, very attached to it. I think people definitely walk away feeling something. It's done so well in all the festivals the past 2 years. So this is the first time we're bringing it to Philadelphia. So I'm super excited about that. We've been to New York about 3 times, but I think I sent you our little EPK where you can take a look and you can watch the film and see all the festivals we've been to. And our biggest accomplishment for me is we were nominated last year maybe like 6 months ago. It's called the Imagen Awards. And basically they're like the Golden Globes for Latin people. And it was televised and it's a huge deal. But to be nominated for Best Short Film in that festival, oh my God, it was just amazing. It was really fun. To me, that was our biggest accomplishment. And, we have a couple distribution deals. So, I'm stressing this short film out. And
it sounds like you're loving it.
Yeah, I do. I love producing, but producing a feature film is completely different, which I'm learning along the way. So yeah, my first short film is called that I did a couple years ago. It was called Shattered Pitch, and that had Chad Coleman in it. He's from The Wire, The Walking Dead, The Expanse. Excellent actor. And, that did well in some of the festivals and getting distribution and, you can buy it or rent it on Amazon. So, that's what I'm doing.
Well, it's great that you know how to do different things because you don't have to wait to get that next job. You can have money coming in from a lot of different sources. And I think that's the way it's supposed to be.
Yes. Yeah. Staying positive, keeping the faith.
Staying positive, staying. Yeah. You got to be doing something. You just can't sit still and wait for the phone to ring. You have to take things in your own hands and make it happen. Everything started to come together for you once you received the financing for 22 years.
Correct. Yes. I did that also with my first short film. My first short film, we used Kickstarter. And my second short film, 22 Years, we used Indiegogo. And I had a small budget of $5,000 for both films. And I stretched that out, boy. I asked for a lot of favors and, you learn to trade and barter and, ask for favors in the same way. When my friends do their films and they want me to act in them, of course, I always repay the favors. So we're always supporting each other out here. Yeah. But that's how it started. So a short film. Yeah. Or, ask your family and friends, throw a party, any kind of way you can raise money. I mean, if you own the equipment, then you may not need to raise so much money. Or, maybe your uncle owns a restaurant. You can use the restaurant. You don't have to pay for locations. There's always ways to work around it. You may not need so much money. Remember that movie, I'll remember it in a second. But they shot it with 2 iPhones.
Oh, my husband was just talking about that today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Creativity.
Yeah.
There's no excuse nowadays.
Right.
There really isn't to film your own stuff.
Yeah, not with technology the way it is.
Exactly.
There is no excuse for anything. It's
Mm-hmm.
not out of reach. I think many people think their dreams are out of reach, but they're not. With technology the way it is today, you don't need those big cameras that cost $20,000, $30,000.
Yeah, just think outside of the box.
Right. And that's what you're doing, and that's what I like about you, because you're so inspirational in that aspect. You just don't know that. You even inspire me that you're saying that anything is possible, and it is.
Amen. Hallelujah.
Anything is possible. So
yes.
Well, thank you so much, Dawn, for being on the show, and I look forward to seeing you on the little screen and the big screen.
Thanks for listening to the Yvonne Candy Show. Like our show? Follow us, subscribe, and leave a review on iTunes. Want to know more? Check out YvonneCandy.com.